All right, so last week when we talked, you said there's still a quarterback battle. So as we enter, get ready for the season opener, who is that starting quarterback for the Jacks?
Right now it's Joey Sweeney, but I think all three of the guys who got can play, may actually play. But I guess Joey showed the most consistency so far. But whoever, I have no doubt that whoever's in there can get the job done.
What did Joey show you in training camp? What kind of gave him the edge to be named the starter?
I think just his knowledge of the position and the defense. Not to take away anything from the other guys. I felt like the other guys had their moments too. So it wasn't. It's not like it was an easy decision, but like I said, I have confidence in all three.
And then at running back, will there be a key back? Or are we have rotating guys in?
It'll be a little bit by committee. A little different from how it's been in the past, but just like the quarterback position, I feel confident with the guys that we have. So I don't think it's going to be a drop off no matter who's in the game.
Started up on Saturday. Here we go. A long travel to open things. But what have you seen on video from Midwestern?
Veteran group, athletic, physical, and good size, and just seemed like a well-disciplined team. Coach well. They got some athletes, but nothing we're not used to. We see that regularly here in this conference, and out of conference as well. So
when you look at your team, have you seen, I guess, is what you expect right now from your offense and defense? Is maybe the offense ahead of the defense? What have you seen from your guys that you feel like you're confident you like what you're seeing out there?
Well, one thing I like is that we both had our days, offensively and defensively. There's days where the offense shined for one half of practice and the defense shined for the other half. But it's more returners on defense, so obviously they're going to be a little more, veteran. But offense isn't going to back down from anybody, and they don't back down from us in practice. So I feel good about both.
To start the season, to go so far to go to Texas, I mean, you guys are used to going on long road trips.
It's a humble way.
How do you guys prepare for not only the opponent but just going so far in the first one?
I mean, I don't know if there is anything to prepare for or how do you prepare. I think it's a mindset. If we keep telling ourselves that and tell everybody telling us that it's going to be a hard trip, then we're going to have that in our head. So we don't focus on that. We focus on the game.
After the scrimmage on Saturday, what were the positives that came out of that, and what are your thoughts leading up into this season opener?
I mean, after Saturday, one thing I was positive to see was that I can see that we're kind of starting to learn how to practice. At the tempo we want, the game type tempo we want, but in practice and keeping each other safe and staying off the ground. That's big for me. And guys are learning, guys are figuring it out. Guys are starting to understand what we're trying to get accomplished.
Fulmer Jack, Jaquan Gardner, I heard today that he signed with the 49ers, so he's with the team right now. See what he could do Thursday against the Chargers. But we already got Kappa, with the Buccaneers, and to have another former Lumberjack getting his shot. How does that make you feel? How does that make for the whole Lumberjack family?
Well, excited for his opportunity, of course. I mean, there's nobody more deserving than those two. They sweat, bled, shed tears on that field on the Redwood Bowl. So those guys deserve it. It's not, nothing really we did. Those guys had the ability and they had the work ethic, and they're great people as well. So we're excited for them. I'm not surprised. Both of those guys are well deserving of anything they get. So we're excited. Hopefully, get a chance to watch them play.
Yeah. One more thing about Gardner. I mean, Kappa obviously drafted. Gardner's been a more difficult road to get his shot at the NFL. But for him, to get give this opportunity to gear up with the Niners. I mean, he could have said, "Hey, let's try something else." That's it. But just talk about him, just kind of keep him with the dream right now.
Well, driven young man. So you don't. I always tell guys that that ever ask for advice or talk about the possibilities of playing at the professional level, that be prepared to get told no. It happens a lot. It happens to almost everybody. So be prepared for no, and then if you want it that bad, you'll ignore it and keep going. And that's one thing he did.
As for you, first game as the head coach of the Jacks on Saturday, nervousness. What are kind of your feelings as you get toward that Saturday opener?
Not too much nervousness necessarily about the game. It's everything else. Making sure that everything is on par the way it should be as far as the travel and the setup and whatnot. I probably nerves probably won't hit me until kickoff, but they usually hit me around that time anyway, no matter what my title is. So for me, it's another football game, another opportunity to go play another opponent.
Great. Anything else you have to add, Coach?
Look forward to Saturday. Get a chance to hit somebody else. Be nice.
Got a quick question for you, Coach. How's going into your first game? How's the chemistry between your older players and the new guys that came in? Are there anything that they're doing differently or to train them up and get them ready?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like since I've been here, it's always been guys, bringing guys along, and I felt like, even this camp we had older guys, putting their arm around younger guys, and so we got a pretty good mixed blend of old and new. So I think they're getting along pretty well.
Thank you. See you guys leave, Thursday?